Vegas, everybody, and we have a special show today, and it's not about housing. It's about the 69 mistakes I've made. And this is Michele. Michele, would you just tell us a little bit about yourself and why we're doing this video?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Michele Galluf. I'm Brazilian. I've been living in the United States for about 17 years now. I moved here to pursue a dream. Initially, my dream was to be an actress, and then now another dream came true, which is I wrote a book about my experiences in dating here in America specifically. So, we're here today to talk a little bit about the book and for you to get to know me a little better.
So, Michele, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's been going on in your life the past few years? And did you go to college? And what led up to this?
I did. So I went to college in Brazil. I studied nutrition, actually, something very different than what I do here now. I moved here to pursue a dream to be an actress. And when I moved here, I actually worked in the movie industry for a little bit in LA. And after 15 years of America, I decided to move to Vegas, take a little break, and work on this book here that I've been writing for the past 3 years, and now it's finally ready for everyone to read. And the reason why I started to write this book is because I've been through quite a few heartbreaks. I don't know if any of you there has been through any heartbreak, but
Heartbreaks, yes. I think we've had a few heartbreaks.
so after a few, so many heartbreaks, started to wonder what was going on in my life, what was going on for the relationship not to work. So I decided to investigate what how I was the one contributing to my relationships not working instead of pointing fingers, saying that the guys are always the wrong ones. So it was a self analysis journey. I got to learn so much about myself, and I think anyone who reads this book, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not. There's always something you can learn about yourself in this book.
That's fantastic. And the name of the book is The 69 Mistakes I've Made in Sex and Love.
Mhm.
So it's the 69 mistakes I've made in sex and love. And it's quite a journey. And one of the things I love about the book that I'm going to talk about right now is how you read the book, because I thought that was a brilliant part of the foreword. And it says the first part relates to a situation the author went through describing the behavior of either themselves or the other person that was involved. The second part delves into the lessons learned from experience.
Mhm.
The third part is Sassy Sally says a fun alter ego comments candidly on the mistakes made. And I'm sure that's your alter ego, right?
Yes.
Yours. And then for everyone, a tragic and fun advice or cool quote related to a mistake. I like that. And then there's worksheets, which I thought was brilliant. They encourage readers to connect with the mistakes and engage in a valuable exercise for self discovery, regardless of personal identification with the specific mistakes discussed. And I thought that was a great little excerpt of what this book is about. And then the other thing I want to point out to everybody is in the table of contents, first page, there's 16 mistakes, and it goes on. Each chapter is a mistake. So there's 69 mistakes, and then you get a bonus mistake. You get a bonus, the 10 things I did right. And then you do the conclusion. So this is just, I love the way it's put together. I'm a
Perfect.
systems person, and I can really relate to how this was created. Michele, brilliant. So tell us a little bit about the book in greater depth, and then we'll tell everybody where they can buy it.
Absolutely. So the book is very personal. It is my heart, my feelings, my stories poured into this book. Uh, and I wanted to write it this way because I've noticed that there is still a lot of taboo, not taboo necessarily, but there is still a lot of, um, how do I say, there's still a lot of people they're not able to understand or connect with themselves, understand themselves.
So they think things just happened.
Yeah. And I think that after some time, you know, when you go through relationships, it's very easy for us to just complain about the other person and see how the other person was wrong in the relationship instead of taking responsibility for ourselves. And I wanted to write this book in a way that I could learn something about me, that I can have the power to change my life, my situations in life, my relationships. So when I start writing this book, I I was very angry at men. I didn't believe in men. I thought they're all terrible, and no wonder why I was still single and that wouldn't work out. And I try to change my relationships. I try to change my boyfriend. And I also learned very quickly that you cannot change anybody. So when I took that position to say, no, you know what, maybe I am the responsible. Let me look into myself and analyze what am I doing so then I can have control over the next relationships and change it. And I did. It was very hard. It was very profound. I did a lot of classes and training and read so many books. I really wanted to change myself. I really wanted to get to the nitty gritty of what's going on and how I can take the power back to me. And I started putting in a format of a book because I thought, well, if I open up about my life, I'm sure that other people be feeling more comfortable to open up about their lives. And if some of us there are struggling with shame or guilt, this book will embrace you because it is me being so vulnerable, allowing the readers to also open up and be vulnerable about their story, their experiences. And through the workbooks, they will get to know a little bit about themselves in the same process that I went through. So I think it's easy to relate when I talk about myself first to get people to open up about themselves.
So do you think in a relationship that someone's going into that they both should read the book?
I think so. Yes, it's funny because I this book was written for female audience, young female to like late 40s, and there's more men reading this book than the women. And they say, you know, I wanted to know what goes through the woman's mind and what woman does because, you know, we have to break that thing that all men are always wrong. Some women does wrong things. And and I think, yeah, the couple will be great because they can discuss about not discuss, they can talk about each chapter and they can get do the worksheets together. And so they get to learn more from each other. So yeah, I think a couple should definitely read it, or even like it write your own little version of the 69 mistakes and give it to your date on the first date, or bring the hey, did you read this book? This is an interesting for you to read before I start dating officially. Yeah, that would be great.
So when if you are you in a relationship now, Michele?
No, I was in a recent relationship. It ended a couple months ago, which is yeah, just it wasn't. We're great friends now, but no.
That's very positive, you know, when you can end a relationship and still remain friends. Because until you get into the relationship, sometimes you don't know, you know, if you're going to fit together. And we call them the mistakes, but they're just maybe mismatches too.
Exactly. Yeah. Not all mistakes are mistakes is exactly what it said. It's just mismatch. One
A
of the
mismatch.
chapters of the book, I say, oh, talking too much. For some relationships, yeah, they want to, you know, the guy wants someone that doesn't talk so much. And other, they love to talk for hours and night. So,
Well, there's there's various uh, charts and graphs about the different personality types. And I think it's always a good idea, you know, in the beginning of a relationship to try to figure each other out. Am I analytical? You know, am I just a fun loving person? Am I a driver? You know, what am I and what are you? And then, you know, and reading this book, you know, would definitely say, oh, well, let's go to chapter 15 because we talk about that, and I'm sure that, that this could be such a help. We have a comment here. Let's see if we can post it. Sometimes they post. There we go. Let's show this. That's smart. I honestly enjoy what you post here on Facebook, but we're not friends yet. I've tried several times to send you a friend request, but it's not going through. I'll be so glad if you can send it. Well, thank you, Mark. Yes, this is a different topic altogether than I normally talk about, and I will definitely send you a friend request. And this message is not embarrassing. Please pardon my manners. Thank God bless you. It's wonderful. Life is what it is. And we just approach it that way. And that's, again, that's what you've done, Michele, with your book. You've absolutely brought your life to the forefront to help other people. So this is a very self-help book. And I understand that you're going to Los Angeles. And what are you going to do in Los Angeles when you're, is this a Barnes and Noble promotion?
We're doing the book launch in the authors panel, so it's gonna be like a little Q&A with all 3 different authors. Our publishing company, WeBook, it has 3 authors launching the book at the same time. So we're gonna be the 3 of us there together, and it's gonna be a night with a little get to know ourselves, get to know a little bit about each book, and we're gonna be signing all the books. So it's our launch.
So what is the 3 authors about? Because I only see your name here.
Yeah, so we have Susana Pires with the book Unleashed. She talks about female empowerment.
What's the name of it? I'm sorry, Michele.
Unleashed.
That's another author with another book.
Yeah, it's Susana Pires. She's a very well-known actress and producer in Brazil. And her book's about female empowerment and overload in the work in place. And she also gives exercises for you to empower yourself. Then we have Andrea Iorio. He's an Italian. He lived in Brazil for many years. He brought Tinder to Brazil. And he's writing about meta leadership. So it's the world of AI in the workplace. And I haven't read those books yet, but I'm buying and I'm reading and getting them to sign them for me too.
That's fantastic. So there's 3 authors doing 3 book promotions at the same time. That's a fantastic promotion for you in Los Angeles, of course. It draw a lot of people. Are they? Congratulations.
Thank you.
It just, I've loved you ever since I've known you. We just connected, didn't we? Yeah, and I'm so happy for you. And where can they buy the book? And it's available now, isn't it?
It's available now. It's available at Amazon, Kindle version and hardcover version. We also have on the WeBookPublishing.com or WeBook.com website. And it's also on Barnes & Noble, online and in person.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You've done an amazing job. And, I'm sure you came from humble beginnings. I can tell by your demeanor. And where did I meet you?
You met me at Red Rock Country Club.
And what do you do there?
I'm a server and bartender over there. I've been there for 2 years. I absolutely love that place. I keep meeting amazing people like you, Ruth. I love you. And yeah, it's a very fun place. Great members here in Las Vegas. It's awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for having me here too. I love seeing you at the country club, and even here, it's even better. Thank
Yes, and I bring that up, the main reason being from your humble beginnings, and you did go to college, and you did do self-analysis, and you decided that you could help other people, and along the way, you've been working to support yourself alone.
I have 2 jobs. Yeah. So I was a dietitian in Brazil, came to be an actress, and life just happens that I got involved into the restaurant business. And there is one very great thing that people I think they don't see it. The level of hard work that it's put into that type of service, it's very intense. And what for me makes me most glad to do it is the people I meet and the impact that I notice that I do even as a servant in a restaurant, to the life of the people in front of me. I had people looking at me, giving me hugs and even crying, saying, "Thank you for making my day. Just your smile changed my life." So it's one thing that I just reminded and remember to say here. Like sometimes I think you have to do really big things, but small gestures, the day to day smile that you give to somebody else can change their life. So I,
I saw a man without a smile. I gave him mine. Right.
there, yes,
Well, you are just a joy. And the other thing, you're very inspiring, Michele. And I bring up your background again so that people who might have a book inside of them, I mean, it took you 3 years to write this. You found the right publishing company. You found the right format. And in this day of, social media, when everybody's used to doing like a 30-second read on something, I think you found a topic that somebody's going to take the time and take a couple hours and read this book and perhaps help themselves and help their future relationships.
yes. Yes, absolutely. This is really important. I think everyone can get a take on this book for sure.
I thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. This is not my usual show. My shows are always about the housing market and what's going on in Vegas. And now we have a rising star. And I am just
Thank you.
so honored to have you on my show. And I am going to see that everybody gets a copy of this in snippets and in the long version. We've been going, let's see, 16 minutes. And I said, oh, 5 minutes. So there you go. We have a lot to talk about.
Thank you so much. I
All
love
right,
it.
and I may see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. See you
And I will
tomorrow.
be back on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow with my housing show. It's really going to be interesting because there's a lot of things going on in the housing market that everybody needs to know about, and you will be amazed at how much wealth there is in real estate. We're going to dive deep into that tomorrow. So I love you all. Thank you so much, and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. And we're going to have Michele back again, and we're going to also see. I haven't read the book yet, so next show we'll have more and more to talk about.
Perfect.
Thank you, Michele.
Thank you so much.